Hi guys, this is Carrie. Welcome to A Crone's Life. I am going to do a week review of the decks that I've used, and I'm going to call this series What the What because I'm totally geeking out over fun things right now. Okay, so what the what is going on with my weekly setup? This is the first installment of that, and I've got some questions laid out. I'm going to get right to it. So, these are the decks I used last week. Seasons of the Witch, Ostara Oracle, Jim Henson's Labyrinth Tarot deck, the movie Tarot, and this is a Dixit card game collection right here. I had a box for something called a Teddy Bear. It's not a teddy bear so much as it's got crazy teeth and it's weird, funny looking. And anyway, I got one for Halloween for my granddaughter last year, I think. So I saved the box because it's so cool. And I cut the cards to fit inside the box. All right. Dixit. Oh, man, I forgot that I painted that. Okay. So my first question is, which deck did you enjoy the most? So out of all of these, I enjoyed the movie tarot the best. I enjoyed it the most because each time I pulled a card from the movie tarot, it was not only spot on with its meaning, but it made me think a little harder about the question. So to me, that's really a great tarot deck is when it takes me further than I expected to go. This deck is a pip deck. The artist is Natalie Foss. The guidebook is written... So the guidebook is written by Diana McMahon Collis. And the artwork is Natalie Foss. And there's just not a ton of information in the guidebook, but what's there is handy. It's very handy. Don't know. I got her. I got her a couple of times. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than it just felt very intuitively correct and spot on. I had to with its meanings. I got a lot of face cards during the week and a couple of wands cards, which was kind of fun and nice. And I guess that's about it. I just wanted to say this one was my favorite out of the week. Okay, so I've shown you the... I do this every time. I bump my table and it just... Earthquake time. So I've shown you all the decks that I worked with last week and my 5 questions. I think it was 5 questions. But I left room for a little discussion at the end. So, which deck did you enjoy the most? I had the movie tarot because it gave me lots of face cards that really had these really cool in-depth meanings. So I had a lot of fun comparing movie to tarot interpretation. I thought that was great. So that was probably my most fun for the week, was dealing with the movie tarot. And just the fact that I got such really kind of deep, cool messages. Second question. Which deck surprised me? It would have been the Labyrinth that surprised me. I'm really not crazy about these Inside Edition decks. And just because I don't like the artwork. I kind of don't like the artwork. The guidebook is really good though. But the artwork, I don't know. I might be kind of picky. I'm not sure. But it surprised me because I got the moon card. And the write-up in the guidebook was so good. It was so good about this. Just how the moon is illusions and dreaming and subconscious, and it was great. I really, really was surprised by that particular reading, because I just didn't expect it to show up the way it did and to be as true as it is. Which deck did you enjoy the most? Which deck surprised you? And Labyrinth surprised me because I really don't like Insight Editions decks in general. I didn't expect to have any kind of substance come from the Labyrinth, but when I got the Moon card, it really surprised me, because the Moon card is all about illusion and confusion. Well, is it confusion? It's dreaming, illusions. Like, you could be under some sort of delusion or not have a firm grasp on reality. And so the moon was depicted as the peach that Sarah ate and was transported mentally to that crystal ball. Beautiful ballroom setting inside of a crystal ball. Anyway, and it all made sense for the question that I had for it. It was really kind of funny. Like, I didn't have high expectations, so the fact that it delivered on like one single reading was really surprising. I know I'm kind of rude. I don't mean to be so rude, but really it did surprise me that the Labyrinth had any kind of substance at all. I shouldn't be that. Was. Okay. Best artwork has to be the Dixit. I got the lion. Oh, he was so cute. Little stuffed animal lion, and he's got a shadow lion behind him, and that was everything. Love it. Yeah, I do really enjoy the artwork in the Dixit. It's pretty fantastic. And since like that's all I have to go off of is the artwork, that makes that answer perfect. Okay, let's see. Artwork. And best guidebook was the Labyrinth, because they had made changes to match the movie and the characters for the movie, but everything in the guidebook is parallel. It works with this deck, and it makes so much sense. It's so nice. Yeah, I like the guidebook. And let's see. The very last thing I'm going to cover is, did any of my decks struggle? So when I say that my decks struggle, the matter is sometimes decks don't stand on their own very well. Sometimes they need another deck to help them communicate. But this time, what the struggle was actually was my Dixit cards, because I could not shuffle them. Like, I did so much work to make these really neat and exciting and fun for me to work with, but all I've done is make it really hard to shuffle. And they still smell like spray paint, and they're not exactly, anyway, yeah. I did a kind of terrible job on this, but it was a, what do you call it? It was an experiment. So, yeah. Shuffling these cards is really difficult. So this one struggled. As far as readings go, though, I think it did fine. There was one day I was a little confused, but that's really more me than anything else. The Seasons of the Witch Ostara Oracle, did fine. It didn't get any shout outs with my questions this week, because it was kind of just meh. I mean, you know, as expected. It just did exactly what I would expect the deck to do, and no surprises, nothing extraordinary. It just didn't stand out. So that was my week in tarot and oracle. And yeah, my first review. The best artwork I thought was great with the Dixit. I don't know if you guys have seen the artwork from Dixit card games. I think they're really beautiful most of the time. They do have several different artists that work on them, but usually they have really cool surrealistic art. The best guidebook I said was The Labyrinth, and Did Any Deck Struggle? And I felt like the Dixit struggled, and it was more my fault than its fault. I cut it and made it really hard to shuffle. And then, you know, everything kind of gets frustrating during a reading. I know you guys know, like, if something throws you off, you're just kind of like, ugh, I want to deal with this. And I feel like the shape of the Dixit deck has not helped its situation. It's not easy to shuffle at all. That's my fault. I may play around with it. I need to get all the cards to be the right shape, like the same shape, because if you look at my deck, they're janky. I'd like for it to be not quite so janky. But yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I do have 5 questions. I want to do this each week because I feel like, why am I putting decks out there when I'm not telling you how it goes with the decks? And I think that you guys want that. Even if no one's saying, oh, please, Carrie, do another video. Just kidding. I'll have to cut that out. So that was my week. I've got more decks, different decks this next week, so I have not moved anything from one week to the next. And so anyway, you guys have a great week. I will talk to you soon. Bye. Take care. Now, next video, I'm going to have some crochet to show you, so I'm super excited. Guys, have a great week. Bye.